Hello everyone. Today we will start our lesson on Internet and web programming. This one is our index. First topic is evolution of Internet. An Internet in lowercase of I is two or more network that can communicate with each other. The most notable Internet is called the capital letter with I Internet, which is the uppercase I, and is composed with the thousands of interconnection networks. That means if you communicate with two PCs in your home, which will be denoted as the lowercase of I Internet, and if you are connected with the broadband connection of Internet, which can be denoted as capital letter of I Internet. The history of Internet is given here. It starts from 1960 by the encoded message section and then improved by 1965. In 67 there was a net which was the ARPANET section. This put a lot of value on increasing the section of Internet. The year goes and Internet gets more strong and stronger. This all the informations you can have by the description link we are giving the slide. In 1992, the audio and video files are also available on the internet section. In 94, Yahoo was discovered. In 96, the Senate buys the TV.com for this amount of dollar. In 98, the version 6 of Internet, which is IPv6, was discovered. In 2000, the eBay introduced to the world. In 2003, the WordPress was launched. In 2004, the Facebook was launched. In 2005, the YouTube was launched. And in 2006, the Twitter was launched. In 2015, the Instagram became a photo sharing app. In 2016, the Google includes the Google Assistant for their voice services. That is why Amazon introduced us to the Alexa, Apple to the Siri, and Cortana by the Microsoft. Our next topic is the HTML basic. The HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. What is HTML? HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Hypertext means the text within a text. You would know that you can write HTML codes in your notepad. By typing some text, you are generating a web page which contains some text. That is why we are generating text by text. That is why it is known as text within text, which is known as hypertext. And it is also a marked up language. That's the reason it is known as HTML, which is hypertext markup language. HTML elements and HTML tags. An HTML element usually consists of starting tags and ending tags. And HTML tags contains of three main parts: opening tag, then content, and then the closing one. Opening tag, content, and then the closing tags. That's the major difference between the HTML element and HTML tag. Here are some difference between HTML elements and HTML tags. This question is medium level important for your exam point of view. Have a snap of this one. What is semantic HTML? Semantic HTML is a coding style where the tags embedded what the text is meant to convey. That means in semantic HTML the tags looks like B and then opening bracket slash B for the double section, the italic section, the strong section. That means if you want to change the criteria of your text, that means you want to the text bold, italic, that's those symptoms, those section is known as the semantic HTML section. Now, what the doc type means. The term doc type tells the browser which type of HTML is used on the web page. That means the browser can easily understand this web page is made of HTML of which version, 4, 5 or whatever. That is why the doc type is used. Now the standard mode and the quirks mode. In full standard mode, the behavior is hopefully the behavior described by the HTML and the CSS specifications, and in quirk mode, the layout eliminates not non-understand behavior in Navigation 4 and Internet Explorer 5. That means the standard mode is a standard structure, but in query mode, if the web page is not understood by this browser, that he will generate a special section. This section is known as query mode. Here are some difference between standard mode and query mode are given. This is also medium level important for your examination. You can have a snap of this one. What are the limitations of XHTML page? Here are some limitations of XHTML page. You can have a snap of this one. Perhaps the biggest issue of poor browser supports XHTML currently enjoys. Internet Explorer and a number of users agents cannot parse with the XHTML as XML. Here are the tags to make a simple web page. Here HTML and HTML closing is for the opening and closing of HTML section. Head is for the head section. Body is denoted for the body section. In body section, what you write you can display in your home page. And now in title section, what you write that will appear in the title bar of your browser. How you can make comments in this section. In HTML, you can make comments as like as this section or this section. In this portion, what we will write, this will include it and to known the notepad and the PC as it's a comment. Now, here is the difference between div and frame. Div and frame both are doing probably the same things. The div is for the division section and frame is for the frame section. The div tag is defined division or section in an HTML document, but the frame tag defines the particular window within the frame. The div is defined by div tag and this frame is by the frame tag. By this example, we can see here that in frame we have frame row with the percentage and frame sources, and by div section we can generate a division. In this division section we can here see that the display is block size, then they closed the style section, then the head section, then they started the div section, and this line and then this line is in this div section. So that's how the div section works, and the div divided the web page into division section and the frame divided them into the frame section. That is the major difference between div and frame. The difference between HTML and HTML5 is majorly HTML is the older version and HTML5 is the newer version. Here, the doc type is very much longer than the HTML5. HTML5 is fast, convenient, and HTML5 is not Flash supported. Some new tags are added to the HTML5 section. No need to Flash player for those plugins. In this section, applet tags are not supported by HTML5. In this section, vector graphics are integrated with HTML5, but vector graphics are not possible in the HTML section. In HTML section, we generated division like as div. By this div content, we can generate the division of the HTML page, but in HTML5, we can separate them by this section. The difference between HTML and HTML5 is also very important for an exam question point of view. So have a snap of this one. Now here are some small questions. What is the new doc type? The new doc type is this one. The difference between SVG and canvas is given below. The main difference is SVG is the vector based section and canvas is the raster based section. The canvas is totally dependent on resolutions, but the SVG is not. SVG is capable of API animation, but there is no API animation in canvas. It can be modified by CSS, but canvas can be modified by script only. Those are some major differences. Here are some points on HTML and HTML5. You can go through them. In previous year questions, you can have the slide in the description link below. Form is to create a form. As we can have an admission form. This form section will create a form-like section in the HTML pages. Button is used to make a button in the HTML section. That means if you are a web user that you can see, you enter your name, then you press the OK button. That button is created by this line. We will discuss about those sections in further slides. This section is very much important. Have a snap of this one for objective type questions. Here are some differences between HTML and PHP. PHP is for hypertext preprocessor. PHP is a scripting language. It is also a backend language. That means in front-end means what the HTML or the HTML page you can see, that is the HTML section, but in behind that what is working, that is based on the PHP section. This file is known as .php and HTML is also as .html. It cannot be manipulate data, but PHP can manipulate data section. That's for today. Thank you.